You're tuned into Taiwan Grooves. Let's explore the local music scene. Hello and welcome to the second part of the interview with Max Lee, who is in the studio for the second time to update on his musical journey progress since his last appearance in February. Max is a classically trained musician, singer, songwriter who has taken a decade-long break from music, but now he's back doing what he loves and he's ready to put out more great tunes. In the first part of the interview, we discuss his recent performances, challenges he faced during different venues, and the evolution of his various projects. We finish on the note of his favorite song to perform and what song he would recommend to people who are listening to his music for the first time. So let's take it from here and continue discussing music with Maxwell Lee. But first, let's enjoy one of his tracks called I Just Wanna Sing.
Situation that I was facing, it just kept raising all these expectations. I ain't that amazing, so I started praying that one day, some way, I'm gonna make it. See, I wasn't wasting my education. My degree will be complete in several days. I'm gonna feel great when I cross the stage and they hand me my diploma as I'm smiling and saying, no, I don't know how it's gonna be, but I'm ready for anything. I don't know what they'll think of me, but I don't care. I just wanna sing. I know it's cheesy, but you best believe me. Getting here this year, it wasn't easy. I practiced more hours to silence the doubters, but the pessimism kept growing louder and louder. Everything I gave up made me think I made a freak mistake. Could it be too late? I'm not getting any younger. It's already summer and I've made no plans. All I'm waiting for is just one chance. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I'm ready for anything. I don't know what they'll think of me, but I don't care. I just wanna sing. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I'm ready for anything. I don't know what they'll think of me, but I don't care. I just wanna sing. This is my time. I'm coming up sidelines. I'm done with waiting, no more hesitating. This is my time. I'm coming up sidelines. Done with waiting, no more hesitating. I'm gonna make it, believe me when I say it. This is my time. I'm coming up sidelines. I'm gonna make it, believe me when I say it. I just wanna sing.
Well, speaking of performances and a favorite song, since you were last year, February, did you have, or even beforehand, did you have a performance that kind of stood out among all the others? Something that you really enjoyed, a lot of people, or was it the one in Revolver with the full band? Everybody sounded good, a lot of good people in.
That makes sense. I think maybe that one, the last show with the full band, it was a good night. Just from start to finish, the performance was pretty nice. I mean, I'm speaking and I'm like hesitating as I talk because, when I run it back, look at the recordings and stuff, I feel I'm very critical over how it was. And so I think we were maybe only 50 or 60% of the way to where we need to be. But that said, in the moment, it was it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of people out to see us and they were cheering. So it made it nice. And then the other bands, like I said, were pretty awesome and very nice people as well to talk to. The headliner was a Japanese duo.
Oh.
So it was cool to talk to them, learn about the scene in Tokyo, and then they were on tour in Taiwan. So just getting a feel for what they've been up to. It was cool to talk to them. So I think then all-encompassing experience of that night was very nice. The fact that it was the last time that band played, the full band lineup played.
It's a good last memory to have.
Yeah, especially as I say this, the way things are in Taiwan. So we'll come back in the fall and I'll try to do the full band again. I have no idea who really is going to play in it because I'm sure Axel will be part of it. He knows the songs and he likes the songs, and he'd be extremely offended if I didn't have him play. But the other guys, like Nicolas, I haven't talked to him about this, but I've always had the sense that he's very busy, and so it's even though he tells me he wants to play, it's tough for him to fit it in. Potentially we may come with another bassist. I've had a few other bassists talk to me, and so we'll see. The fall is a long time from now, and I don't want to offend Nicolas either, but I just think that it's very possible that we might both see that there might be a better fit with somebody else. And then Punch, I don't know if he'll be available, but there's a couple other people who we've talked to and potentially could step in. So, and that seems to be how Taiwan expat music or music in general scene is that a lot of people are doing a lot of things. And so kind of there's sort of a carousel, somewhere of a revolving door, and not in a bad way, but it's just that everybody juggles a lot of things. So you just see how things line up for everyone.
If you come to Taipei's jam sessions, performances, you will see some recurring faces with different bands, different projects. So,
right. And it's just kind of necessary because the really good players are doing so many projects. There will be times where you have scheduling conflicts for shows. And so it's actually beneficial to have several people who can step in for a certain show. So
plus for you, it's not a problem because you're carrying the project. Your songs, you know how you want it. You play the piano, you sing, so it's easier because if you were to just play piano and then somebody else needs to sing this part, it's kind of more difficult because you rely on other people.
I get that. I get exactly what you're saying. But for me, that's the thing. The sound that I want, I feel like everybody plays a critical role to make it. And so that's not what I hope to have. I hope that it's not me carrying it. For the full band, I really want to just be one more piece. Like maybe you could say I'm two pieces. I'm playing an instrument and I'm singing. But then the guitar is very important. The backup vocals are very important. And the drums and bass also very important. Actually, a lot of my songs, I even want two backup vocals.
Right.
So like I don't want to be carrying.
No, I get that.
That's really what I don't want is to be the one who's carrying everything. I really want I think that my songs are, maybe in the sense of me writing the songs are important, but I don't think me as a performer should be so important.
No, that's a valid point. But at least you have a point of reference to give to the new drummer bassist. Like, hey, this guy did this. This is the recording. Whatever you do is up to you. Make it sound good. Also, it's funny. I just wanted to say, like, as you look back on your Revolver show, like, this is I would say a little maybe downside of being a classically trained musician with good ear. Because whenever I would do something, a jam, I would look back and it's like, wow, that sounds so sick. But, in reality, it sounds just below average. But you will hear all those little things and you're like, I can hear that. But for me, half deaf, I would be like, oh, that sounds amazing.
No wonder you're so complimentary to me.
My bad. No, but still, I mean it. And you have to remember that it's us. Performers are trying to entertain, not just yourself. So whatever we say, it's like a customer. If we say it sounds good, it sounds good. All right. I have a couple more questions for you. And one of them would be, you said you did perform the acoustic set in a lot of, let's say, places you're familiar with, and you've been returning there
everything goes well. Have you discovered any new venues, any new opportunities in these past couple of months?
Well, I did a show at GLAD in Sanchong, which is one of the owners, Martin. She's a great singer-songwriter, guitarist. So she had invited Lance and I out to her open mic that she does every Tuesday, I believe. She does a weekly open mic.
There's literally every day of the week that you have something. Right?
Yeah, so it's a nice place. Really, really like the space. It's really cool. And so I wanted to perform there with the acoustic set, but I never would have thought to perform there previously because I know it can't handle a band. So when I decided to schedule a few acoustic shows, I reached out to her and she invited us. So that was nice. So far, that's the only sort of alternative location that we've done. But Axel and I have scoped out quite a few other places now. Because Axel does his own sort of acoustic duo with a great female singer for like covers. And so all of the places that they've looked at now more recently are places that I would consider as well for our acoustic set. And so, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 places that we've talked about potentially talking to them in the fall. And I think that's really exciting because it's always nice to play new places for new people. And especially since in my mind, I'd never thought of doing that before. It's been a new chapter for me. Just the last couple of months with the acoustic set. It's like, I used to think those kinds of venues were for really great singers who just step in and play a little guitar and sing really well. and that's not how I think of myself. Suddenly, I'm now entertaining the idea of doing all of these new things in places I never imagined.
That's great. I feel like that's what you wanted initially. And if you have music, it needs to be heard by more people. Because if you only perform in Red Room and Rev Now, maybe Sanchong people will not see that because it's a little bit, you have to cross the bridge and all.
Correct.
So that's great. Yeah. And in the fall, it sounds like you're going to go from performing once a week to a couple times a week.
I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't believe that, but in Taipei, I think you can find every day there's an open mic or at least jam session or at least performance from Monday to Sunday.
Yeah.
It's really...
Yeah. I mean, so our last gig with Electric Monk was this sort of a festival in Hsinchu, and our main bassist and our backup bassist were both unavailable. So we had a situation where we had to find somebody new, and at the very last minute, and we actually got Sujong, who's considered by me, but by many people too, considered like the best bassist in the city in Taiwan. It was really great. And it was my first time playing with him. So I was like telling him, this is so awesome. I've never played with you before, even though we've met, but we've just never shared the stage. But anyway, I'm just mentioning that it was amazing that he was able to fill in for us last minute. And he had a gig before, on the same day, just like a few hours before. So I know people like Sujong are performing more than once a day.
I mean, if you're the best in Taiwan, there's a chance you're going to be demanded.
So I think he does he'll do like 3 or 4 trips per weekend,
That's incredible. It's like a player's out and Ronaldo or Kobe Bryant shows up.
Yeah, and it's awesome too because he's an amazing jazz bassist.
Yes.
So to see him step right in very comfortably playing like our sort of heavy punk rock kind of stuff, it was really cool to see him in a different element.
Lets his hair go a bit and lets his playing go. Yeah. I think we answered this question kind of like looking back at our conversation. If you said you wanted to accomplish something, if you got to that point or you checked off the goal, I think that's mostly what we talked about, full band. In February, we kind of talked, what would you like to do? Perform as much as possible and have the full band be ready and all that. So
So I don't think the full band part has gotten there yet.
You did start.
Yeah, we performed, but my hope was to have the full band kind of where the acoustic set is now.
Yes.
I wanted to have the full band there where I'm comfortable. I know that if we get a gig opportunity, a good gig opportunity, I can say yes, and then things will go well. That's where I want to be. With the full band, we weren't there yet. It was still we were trying to schedule a rehearsal, and then in the rehearsal, it's one other thing is with with rehearsals, but especially when it was the full band. But with any rehearsals, I found I've been probably working the hardest of any time when I'm doing music is during our rehearsals, because we have a certain amount of time and we have to go. And I have these songs that and mental notes of like everything that we need to like go over for each song. And then oftentimes, unfortunately, when we're rehearsing, I'm checking the time and I'm seeing we're running out of time. And so as we're doing it, I'm suddenly adjusting, okay, we need to do A, B, C, D, E, but then maybe which is the priority, and then I'll have to like cut some stuff. And then like, basically what I'm trying to say is there's never been enough time. There's never been more than enough time in a rehearsal. And so for me, the rehearsal process has been the most taxing part of anything.
Because you barely get all the people for 2 hours.
Yeah. And what my dream would be to be at a stage where we're not scrambling to do that in a rehearsal, and our rehearsals are just fine-tuning or just going over it, like just to have more practice of a run-through. But thus far, all of my Project Maximus rehearsals has always been sort of like learning a part or working something out and like trying to do as much of that as we can. So I guess that would be where I want to be. To describe it more clearly and specifically is that I want to be able to be more relaxed as we rehearse, and then consequently more relaxed in the performance, where I don't have to be thinking about too many things. I can just focus on specifically what I'm doing.
No, I get it. This is a really real problem, because you get the people to meet at the same place. That's already hard enough. You only get perhaps like 2 hours, let's say you book.
Yeah.
Now, what do? Do you just play songs and practice, or do you kind of like stop and kind of come up with new little thing there, adjust this, and then I feel like, oh, we're wasting time. We should be playing. We should not be discussing. We can do that after the time runs out.
Yeah. And 2 hour rehearsal is always like an hour and a half once everybody's there and
set up.
Yeah, that's the biggest difference between my previous life in music and now, is that in my previous life, granted I was a lot younger and a lot of it was like college age kind of stuff, but rehearsal time was never a problem. Like rehearsal was just the default. We're always hanging out, playing. I was also not in a city like Taipei. So when I lived in Florida, oftentimes where you hang out is where you can rehearse. Like you're at a drummer's house. Yeah,
someone's house, basement, they have stuff.
Yeah, or everything. And so you just hang out and you're spending time together, and then you're playing whenever you want. And it's not like Taipei where, like you said, you schedule a rehearsal and you have this set amount of time to get everything done. Maybe other big cities like New York might be similar, and I don't know, because I didn't have that experience. But yeah, for me, that was a big shift in my previous life in music versus now. Now it has to be more organized. Now you have to know your part. So when I'm playing for other musicians and other bands, it's like you have to learn your part, and then you show up for the one rehearsal. Oftentimes, just one rehearsal, bang, do everything, and then show. It's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I would like to have that time where just 4 hours idly kind of talking and working on something at the same time. Here it's more like you get a homework, be prepared for rehearsal so we can be prepared for the show.
Yeah. It's a bit more stressful.
Hustling. All right. Let me ask, I think 2 more questions. When you heard our first 2-part interview, was there anything that you kind of reflected on? You discovered something that you got out of the interview yourselves?
Oh, interesting question. I probably did, but I've forgotten now.
No problem.
Because it's been, I don't know.
It's not like I'm trying to change lives. I'm just wondering, like...
It's been a little bit of time since I listened to it when it came out. What I remember is my impression was it was really nicely produced interview. You made me sound quite good. I thought.
It's because you sound good.
But I don't remember if there's something that surprised me, like self-reflection wise. Today, you reminding me that I really, really wanted that full band established, like ready to go. That's a surprise, because I've kind of forgotten now that I'm focusing so much on the acoustic set.
So next time I ask you this question, now you'll have full band, Hive Mind.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think very last question, and you're free to go. Do you have any, not even a plan, but let's say that you revived your music. Did you also re-record something? Did you get to record 如果没有你? Later on, I would kind of want to ask, if you do record music, you do have it, you had set ready, you have new music ready, what would be your way to push it onto new listeners?
Yeah,
except for just going to different venues.
Yeah. Okay, so no, we haven't recorded 如果没有你. We started to. That was with John. So John was like, yeah, sure, let's record it. And after we talked about it, I felt like we could do a good enough job for the acoustic version to make it work. But when we went to record, things just take a lot longer than we hoped. Even just traveling there and getting set up. So we ended up only getting the guitar tracks down, and then I'll still need to go back and do the vocals and the piano, and of course John's beatboxing. So we only got started doing it, and then things started happening for John, and he didn't have time. So that project is partially completed. I will go to the studio when I'm back in the States. I will go to my favorite producer's studio, and I'm still trying to decide exactly what we'll do. But for sure, 如果没有你 full band, full production, we'll do that. That'll be one of them that we'll do. So at the end of the summer, I should have a good recording of that song. For other stuff, when we write it, I don't have a good answer yet. I think the ideal would be to have a recording of everything that I write and recorded the way I want it recorded. But that's a complicated question, because to this day, I feel like there's just one guy, the guy I'm going to go see in the US, who has worked with me, who gets things to sound exactly the way that I'd hope. So, I can't necessarily go fly to see him every time I write a song to do that.
Could you do that?
So
virtually, just send him what you have.
I don't know.
Feedback.
At least I'm not sure. I certainly could try, but I don't think we could do it exactly to the specifications that I'd want. And so if we're not, then maybe what are the options locally to get at least 90% of the way there or something? And is 90% of the way good enough? Maybe it's just in my head it's 90%, but it's already a great production piece of work the way it is, and just to me I want it slightly different. So I don't know, there's a complicated question. I could do stuff with John if I think that it's the right sound for what John can do, or I may start to look for other studios as well. So I don't know, but the ideal would be to have a good recording in addition to performing the stuff, but I haven't solved that equation yet.
All right, I'll still ask it, but also what I meant with the question is, would you have any, because we kind of dug into this with the Church of Loops.
Okay.
Like, how do you compete for others' attention? Like, you have all these shorts, billions of other artists coming out, AI music punching in. Like, what do you do? Do you just perform on the street? A short that kind of attracts people? What would be your ideal? Like, I have a different way to go about this.
Yeah, that's the dilemma of the modern day artist and musician, is how much time to devote to the actual music, and then how much time you have to put into promoting. And there's a lot of, I think for successful artists, most of the time their energy goes into promotion. He's coming up with creative ideas and ways, and then doing it, because that's the thing. You have to spend a lot of time to actually do it. It's not just coming up with a good idea, but actually putting in that effort and energy to do it. So I don't know. I don't have that answer either. If the Church of Loops guys, or if I had that answer, then we'd already be doing it. I don't know. My hope, I guess, is to have enough projects that are worth promoting. And then I'm hoping that I can find the answer to how to promote at that point. But I'm aware that it'll take time or money or both. It'll take effort. Unfortunately, that's the way music is today. There's pros and cons to the technological advances we've seen in music. I think a lot of the technological advances has made it such that has reduced the barrier to entry for a lot of musicians. So that's a good thing. It's made it easier for those musicians to connect to an audience, which is also a good thing. But then it's also created a lot of noise. There's so many things and so many people that it's harder for a really good musician to cut through that. So yeah, that's the negative side, and we have to sort through it, figure that out.
I wanted to hear it from a real musician. It's not just that you make a great song and it will have 50 million views overnight. It's harder than that.
That can't happen now.
Max, thank you very much for your time and for coming back in. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and I hope you enjoyed Max's music. If you do enjoy his music, go look him up. That's Max Lee, Project Maximus, or head over to our website where I'll post all the necessary information. Wishing everyone a lovely week, and here's one more song for the road called Someday You'll See.
Take me for granted, take my money, take my things, but leave me my pride and whatever that it brings, because I refuse to dishonor my name, even if you give me the chance. Though he is wrong, he's still your man, and we'll just stay friends for